It's finally February, and you guys know what that means. Let's do some Valentine's Day makeup. And if you could not tell, today is going to be my pink edition of this look. I also eventually want to do like a date night smoky eye, a red makeup look, different things like that. But of course, let's start out with the pink look. And actually today I'm kind of feeling starting out with my eyes. So the palette I am using is actually from Colourpop. I already warned you guys, you're going to see this a lot this month because this just screams Valentine's Day to me. This is the Smoke and Roses palette from Colourpop. This is one of their $35 palettes, but look at how many colors you get in here. And you can't tell me this doesn't scream Valentine's Day in like a romantic type look. So let's dive in. For today, we are starting out with the Kosas Revealer Concealer all over the lids. This is just how I like to prime my eyes. Do whatever works for you. Now, if it was actually like date night for me, I probably would use eyeshadow primer just so it lasts throughout the whole night. But even with just concealer, I can get 8-hour wear out of it. It just depends on you, your skin type, what all you plan on doing, stuff like that. Just prep however you normally would. And then I am going to take a little bit of this One Wild Photo Focus setting powder and set down the eyelids. Now, this might be a pink look, but I am still going in with a black pencil liner on my waterline. This one is from NYX. It's just the retractable liner in black. Now that the eyes are set up, let's finally dive into this palette. Again, I really want to do a pinky type of a look. So let's go ahead and start with Alone in the Crease, which is this light baby pink shade. Now, yes, this is pretty light, but this is going to be beautiful for a transition shade, just so there's no harsh lines or anything. Now let's jump in with a little bit of Angel Eyes, which is this peachy kind of a pink shade, but I think it's still pretty pink. And we're throwing this on this outer corner. Now with this look, I want it to be pink, but I don't want it like hot pink like my shirt. I still want it to be a more wearable type of a look. So that is the end goal with this. I don't want to do something super out there. Usually when it comes to Valentine's Day, I do like really bold looks, but I want this to be a little more wearable. Now we're going to take a little bit of this guy, which is kind of like a berry shade, and we're going to deepen this outer corner just a little more to add a little bit of depth out here so it's not so flat. And I'm really just keeping that in this deepest part of the eye socket, like right in here, because we don't want to take it up too high and ruin what we already had. We just want to emphasize it. Now, of course, I'm me and I'm extra. I am going to take 2 lid shades. So I'm going to start with On the Edge, which is this really pretty pinky color here. And with this one, I'm taking this on the outer portion of the lid. Now, for that inner portion, like I said, I want to take an even lighter shade. So we're going to use the shade Faithfully, which is a super light, icy pink color. I think this is going to go really well with this look and just help brighten up the whole eye area. Yeah, that's really pretty. All right, let's go ahead and do the face and then we'll come back for the eyes. For my base, actually, I used the stuff I used for my wedding base, which we can see why it was my wedding base, right? I used the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer with Niacinamide, which is the pink one, so it kind of goes with today's theme. Then I used the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation in 220 Linen. This shade is literally spot on to my skin, and I think they might have discontinued this foundation. And look at how pretty it is. It is so skin-like. I need to see if I can find it on their website or not. So Shiseido, if you see this video, let me know where I can find this, please, because this is such a good foundation. And then concealer, I went back in with the Kosas Revealer Concealer. And if you're wondering, I have the shade 02W, and I just let it sit on my face for a little bit, let it thicken up, and then blend it out. Let's move into our cream steps. We have for cream bronzer, the Milani in Hey Honey, and then the Huda Beauty blush filter in the shade Bubblegum. So if you are looking for an affordable cream bronzer, I really do like this Milani one a lot. You have probably seen it a ton in my videos, but it's so good and it melts into the skin. Like I said, this just melts into the skin and it looks very natural and so pretty. Let's move into the blush now. She is a little bright, but it is fine, trust me. And I love the way they smell. They literally smell like strawberries. But see, even with a decent amount of that on, it blends out kind of sheer, so I am going to build up a little more. For powder, I am going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus again. I am really trying to use this one up because it's almost there. I just feel like this powder is never ending. It takes forever to use one of these up. And then we'll move into powdered cheek products. And then after you set the whole face, you should have something like this. It does really lower the intensity on the blush and the bronzer. That is why we are going in with powder ones now. I'm going in with the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer and All Buttered Up. This, you already know, is one of my absolute favorite bronzers. And then this blush actually was limited edition. You can no longer get it. This is the Melt and Bailey Sarian collab, and please, and look at how bright she is. So starting with some of this bronzer here, we are just going to re-intensify where we put that Milani cream bronzer. It is just, it's so pretty. Now for this blush, obviously use whatever you have, but I figured I'd bring this gem out, and if you do have this in your collection, maybe you should pull it out more, because I know I don't use mine nearly enough. And I feel like it's gonna last forever too, because you do not need much of it. Like, I tapped off a bunch of that excess. I'm still able to do both cheeks. So this is also a reminder, if you do have any bright blushes in your collection, you can really sheer them out and get something really pretty like this. Now, to finish off the eyes, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of Angel Eyes, which is that peachy pink shade, and we're going to start with this on the lower lash line. Then with a tiny pencil brush, we're going to go back into this guy, which is that berry shade, and we're going to keep this really close to the lower lashes, just trying to smoke out the eyeliner a little bit. And now is the time to use highlighter, any kind of like pinky toned highlighter you might have. This is from Flower Nose Beauty in the shade Paradise Lost. And it has like a slight pinkiness to it. It's not too pink. So I think this is going to be great for what I need it for. Because I don't want to do a super intense like, oh, this is pink, this is Valentine's Day. You could definitely just wear this as a pink lover and get away with it and not be screaming Valentine's Day with like hearts all over your face and stuff like that. This is still a very wearable look, but again, it does have that pinky tone to it, so it really ties into the blush. And then I did use that same highlighter on the inner corner, that very inner portion of the lower lash line, because you know how I love to do that, the brow bone. And now to melt in all my powders so I don't look so makeup-y and heavy, a little more skin-like, we're going to use the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Nourishing Milk. And this is kind of what like Fix Plus does, but definitely not the same, but it's similar, but definitely not the same. Trust me, if you have Fix Plus, use it, but if you are on a budget and you cannot afford Fix Plus, I would go with this, because that is probably the most comparable thing to Fix Plus at the drugstore. Because it kind of does the same thing. It just melts all the powders into your face so you don't look so powdery and cakey. But definitely not the same. The formula is not the same. Not a dupe. And then, so everything lasts all night, let's use the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Setting Spray. Now this is like your long wear setting spray, so your makeup actually lasts. The other one is just to melt the powders down. To finish off the eyes, we did some eyeliner and mascara. Now for lips, I am jumping in with the Glam Light Strawberry Shortcake Lip Kit. I only pulled out the lip liner and lipstick, not the gloss. Typically, I don't like to put gloss on top of my lipsticks. It's just a personal preference. So let's jump into this lip combo. I need another lip liner from this collab. I really wish they would have sold that one separately because I love that lip liner shade. And then the lipstick, also just so pretty. And here's our finished pink look for Valentine's Day. Again, this is more of a subtle type of a pink look, so it could be any time of year that you wear this, but for me, this is definitely a Valentine's Day look. And how are we feeling about the bangs with the crimped hair? I'm kind of living for it, truthfully, more than I thought I was gonna like it. But this is such a pretty and fun, different kind of a look for me. I am so obsessed with how this came out. I feel like I'm actually having a good hair day for once. But if you like any kind of makeup content, makeup tutorials, I do a bunch of that over here. So definitely like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.